Hey everyone. So it's been a little bit, a couple weeks, and finally got rid of the Cavalier. I still got that Taurus I gotta get rid of yet, but I finally got down the vehicle I'm really excited to start working on. Um, as I mentioned earlier this year, I have a 96 Chevy Blazer. I was planning on running this year. However, I have had a couple things come up, so it likely won't be getting done this year, but I'll be working on it all through the winter just to make sure I have everything all up to speed the way I feel like it should be. Um, so we'll work on it slowly throughout the winter, and I'm hoping come early summer I'll be running this thing either early June or early July. I have a couple of shows in mind. It all depends on it all depends on the rules, because I don't want to, this is my first one, I don't want to spend too much time building it. I just kind of want to do more of a stock show just to kind of see what these things are about. I have looked online, and I'll be honest, I have not found much for information on how people build these things. There's different things for the engines in it. This one's got the 4.3 Vortec. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff on there, but as for the actual vehicles themselves, there's barely anything that I've been able to find. But anyway, yeah, here it is. I mean, it's pretty clean for the most part. I mean, it's got the rust on the bottom there, and again in the back here, I'll show you on the driver's side. Right there, your typical rust. I've looked underneath the frame. Surprisingly, almost black in some spots. I mean, yeah, it's got the rust like any other vehicle has. It's hard to see in there with it being dark. However, on the inside, I still see some black on the frame. Yeah, there you go. Black on the frame, yeah, still. So this truck is pretty clean. I have looked. I'll go to the other side and I'll show you one of the body mounts I do gotta fix, because it's worn. It's going, but I'll show you that. The one thing I have read about these trucks is that these trucks tend to belly right where those leaf springs are, on both sides there. So that's about the only thing I've found on these trucks, is that they bend right there. So what I'm thinking to do to combat that, at least just to prevent it for a little bit, there's this rear frame, and then this is the right in here. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a dimple or a notch in the frame, just so that part bends first. I mean, it's not gonna bend very much, but I'm thinking if we can get that to bend first before, and just relieve the pressure off those fronts of the springs, I think that'll make this truck last a little bit longer for bellying out in the back. That's the goal, and that's my plan, so we'll see how it goes next year, I guess. And then here's this body mount I was talking to you guys about. As you can see, it's pretty well gone, so I just gotta replace that, and that's really the only bad part I've seen on this truck, other than the rust spots. But I mean, that's just the body. With these cars, I'm more worried about the frame, since it's got the frame. Trying to get my hood open. Of course, it's stuck. Bear with me. Alright, so I finally got the hood open. I don't know why that was sticking so bad. Here's the 4.3. With these, the Vortex, you can carb them. However, I'm gonna, for this, since I kind of try to stick with the more of a cheapish, bit more of for the, the younger guys just getting started that don't have all the money to spend on all the aftermarket parts. I'm just gonna keep everything all EFI, see what I can do with all the wiring, all that stuff. A lot of this stuff will be, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of room once I get working on this. The coolant, this stuff, heater core, that side's completely gonna be completely gone once it's all stripped. The ABS system, all that stuff, I gotta do a little bit of research I'll get back to you guys on that. I'm gonna try to see what happens with just going without it. Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, yeah, you got the lines going through. I'm gonna see just what happens, so we can just get rid of that, because that's just gonna be another thing in our way. I do plan on getting some headers for this thing, just because I like to put headers on it. So I mean, this has been a really nice truck. I bought this truck for $200 a year and a half ago now. I was gonna derby it last year, however my driver car quit working on me, so I went through and I went to see what was going on with the truck, and turns out all it was a battery and a starter. So I got those two replaced, and I drove this thing for a year before it finally, I mean, it's starting to, when it's in drive, it'll start cutting, sputtering, so it's getting on its final leg. So I was figure, well, now's the time to take it off the road, and now we're finally gonna start stripping it. So once I'll give you guys a video. I do kind of plan on doing a video just of stripping the engine, just because I've never seen any videos on the blazes or on the engine, so I'll be doing my best to get you guys as much information as I can. I still got some information that I got to look up too. Now with the 4.3s, I'll mention this now, I'll mention it again. The oil filters are in a very bad spot. So this little piece here, you see oil filter access. I don't have this, but once I take this off, the oil filter is right in there, right next to the radiator. Now there's a couple of things I could do. I could either reroute it, or I can get an adapter, and I'm still deciding what I want to do. I'm leaning more towards the adapter, to be honest with you. But I mean, like I said, I got more research I got to do on my end, so I can get you guys as much information as I can. So that wraps up this video for now. I'm very excited about this truck. I've been wanting to run this for a long time, and now I finally get to start stripping it. So this will be a lot of fun, and I hope you keep up with me, and hopefully you guys enjoy the experience like I do.